our ingredient deck, it's all natural ingredients. We have no artificial flavoring. And it's really meant to be a very clean product. When I sought out to create Wodo, my boys were really my inspiration because they're 4 and 2. They both have severe gluten allergies. And I just wanted to create something that we felt good about putting in our bodies and their bodies as well.
Very cool. And when did you launch the brand?
So we officially launched at Expo East. So really September of 2019. Feels like forever ago.
It certainly does.
I would take that hurricane from Expo East right now over this.
Well, that was 2 years ago. That was 2018. So you launched these in 2019. How have the first 7 months gone for you? Well, I guess that would be 9 months, excluding the last one.
Yeah, so excluding the last one, things have gone well. We launched with version 19. We're now on version 21. I'm a big believer that as you get customer feedback, you adapt your product immediately. And so just about 4 weeks ago, we had released our updated nutritional fact panel and our updated formula, and it's made the bar that much better.
Very cool. Mike, what do you think of this positioning as cross between or sort of in between a candy bar and a protein bar?
Yeah, I think a lot of times we see that if you don't lean into one market or the other, then it becomes confusing. So what have you seen so far in terms of just having to educate folks? Do they think it's more of a bar? Do they think it's more of a treat? And what's been the feedback so far?
So we've really been following the healthy indulgence trend. So we've had a lot of positive feedback. I think some of the biggest challenges we have faced is whether or not our product should be in the refrigerated section next to Perfect Bar or actual cookie dough, or in the nutritional bar section next to Cliff Bar or RX Bar.
But does it need to be refrigerated?
It does not need to be refrigerated, as a 9-month shelf life.
But it tastes better when it's refrigerated. Is that kind of what you're saying here? I'm kind of confused as to why you would say it should be in the refrigerated section next to Perfect Bar.
No. So we've had, I guess you said about our positioning. We've had some people ask us if it should be in the refrigerated section because it's a cookie dough bar. But we believe that it should sit in the protein bar section because it does have 6 to 8 grams of protein. It's under 10 grams of sugar. It's really meant to be a healthy indulgence, but also has the protein and the clean ingredient nutritional fact panel.
And what do you see as the overall market opportunity for Wodo, and how much of that have you successfully taken thus far for any investors who might be watching?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So right now we're in about 110 stores. We just got into Whole Foods Mid-Atlantic region, and we'll actually be going live there in May because they're not bringing on any new products in April due to COVID. We believe it's an over $10 billion market.
Have you been able to put together a successful e-commerce strategy during this time?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said because I heard a little bit of an echo.
I gotcha. How about e-commerce during the COVID crisis?
Yeah, so that's actually been quite successful for us. So we've actually grown our e-commerce business on Amazon over 150% in the last 60 days.
Very cool.
Great stuff. I'm convinced.
Yeah. Just one more quick question, Todd. Your branding is fantastic. When I first saw it in the office, I picked it up. I'm like, wow, I really want to try this product. And a cookie dough bar sounds incredible, especially for someone like me who has a sweet tooth. Are you really trying to get consumers of all ages? Are you targeting younger consumers, older consumers? Who's your target consumer?
So our ideal target market is moms and kids. So we look at moms as the chief kind of CEO of the household, and they're ultimately buying for their kids and for their husbands, or it could be the other way around, depending on who's kind of the decision maker. So right now we see our primary buyer between 24 and 38.
Gotcha. All right. Todd, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. You've got a great brand, and good luck with everything going forward.
No, thank you guys.
All right. That was Todd Goldstein, who's the founder of Wodo, a brand of protein-infused cookie dough bars. I really like that stuff. Mike, have you tried those yet?
I sure have, Ray. I've tried more than my fair share.
Well, you're getting a lot of protein in addition to, the indulgence side of things. So it's all good.
Fun fact, we have the same old school stomping grounds of Chagrin Falls, Ohio. So we'll have to talk about that at another time.
Chagrin?
Chagrin Falls, yeah.
All right. All right.
Are you from there?
We'll talk about that later.
we gotta keep on keeping on, Todd. But once again, thank you so much for joining us. All right. Up next is Dr. Deon. Laszlo Baker is the founder and CEO of DeeBee's Organics. How are you, Deon?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I might have butchered your first name. Is it Deon or is it Deon?
You got it. Deon Laszlo Baker.
Deon. I thought it was, and I thought I
Deon.
heard one of my colleagues call you Deon, so I had to double check.
Oh.
And it's funny because we're going to be talking about your Frozen 2 affiliated products and the fact that your name is Deon. I mean, this is like a beautiful thing that's happening right now because Dionne Warwick is one of the favorite artists in my family of all time. This is a true story. And Frozen 2 is just like everywhere here. It's just like all over the house. You can't see it now because I'm up against a wall, but like everything else is covered in Frozen 2, everything. So I have a feeling.
Well, my parents were hippies and huge fans of Dionne Warwick, so that's who I was named after.
Seriously, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I love Dionne Warwick. I would start singing.
Amazing.
I'm going to embarrass myself. All right. I'm already embarrassing myself. Please tell us more about DeeBee's Organics.
Absolutely. So we actually launched, and I apologize, these actually came out of my own freezer because I'm working from home. We launched it's the first all organic, all fruit freezies or freezer pops in 2017 across Canada and the United States. And when we launched them, we actually produced enough for what we thought was the whole season, and we sold out in 3 weeks. We had velocities of hundreds of bags per store per week. So it was crazy. Oops, I don't know if I can hear you, Ray. There we go. Now I think I can hear you.
We can hear you.
You can hear
You
me?
can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great.
And then we, I think this caught the attention of Disney, and Disney has really wanted to break into the natural market, creating healthier food products for families. And that led to about 2 years of discussion and the launch of our DeeBee's Organics Disney Frozen 2 ice wands. So they're just starting to hit the shelves all across America right now.
Very cool. Shelf-stable freezer pops. So where are they best merchandised in stores?
Well, we actually we're known for our disruptive displays. So we tend to be around the outer perimeter of the store. And we've had so many families say, thank you. We bumped into your bins or your displays, and we just never knew anything like this was available. And we're so grateful because we're allergen-free and organic and you name it. And so really we're in displays, but sometimes we're in multiple areas of the store. So we might be on display, we might be in with the juices, a variety of different spots with our 2 SKUs.
Right on. Mike, what do you think of the positioning, and what do you think of this affiliation with a very well-known platform like Frozen?
Yeah, I'm really fascinated by Disney just happening upon this. I don't think it happened that way, so I'd love to know a little bit more about how Disney gets involved in your product.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got introduced about 2 years ago, and at that time, Disney said to me when I started the discussion, they said, you know what, we've been looking for someone just like you, a mom. I'm a PhD medical scientist. So we're female owned, and we make something that everybody wants, which is clean, organic, no junk in there. Every single ingredient we use has to be from a fruit or a tree or a plant. And I'm really strict on that as a medical scientist and as a mom and founder. And I think it was just a really natural fit. And so it evolved from there, but it was a few years in the making to come out with this product. So yeah, it's been a kind of natural course. And because our target market is very similar to Disney's target market, it was a really easy choice for both of us.
And is there an on-premise play with this too? I mean, is it served in the parks right now?
We're talking.
I mean, not right now. Obviously, nothing's served in the parks right now. But you know what I mean, right?
Normal. We're talking about going into food service, and we're in discussion with Disney and a number of other food service partners, potentially for 2021. Right now, this is launching nationally across the entire Kroger chain, all their banners, stores like Wegmans, Raley's, many others all across the United States as well.
Amazing. There's certainly the kid element of wanting a freezer pop, especially one that's got the Frozen 2 characters on it. There's the also the parent side of this is, trying to get folks to eat a better for you pop. Um, you know, are you getting more kids reaching for this product and telling moms to buy it, or is it the other way around? Moms seeing that they can entice their kids with a better for you pop?
Well, it's interesting. When we presented this at a few shows, we actually had kids so excited they'd drop on the floor and have a temper tantrum if they didn't get it fast enough. So these are the little wrappers inside. We also inside have little Disney tattoos and a little booklet, and they're all little collector items. So, and the thing that surprised me most was parents tried it and said, "Oh my God, I could eat this entire package. I'll buy one for me and one for my kids." So I think it's brand new. It's hitting the store shelves now. We've already sold thousands on our first few days out in Kroger. So we'll see who's going to be grabbing this. I have a feeling it's going to be both.
It certainly sounds like it. Well, great product, great pitch, and congratulations on getting into Kroger. I mean, that's certainly a great accomplishment for a relatively new brand. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us on the live stream today, and good luck with everything going forward.
Thanks so much for having me, and good luck to everybody. Stay healthy.
All right. Good stuff. I got to try some of those.
Yeah,
I'm sure
Ray, I
I'm
know
gonna
if I had one of those, I couldn't let it go.
Yeah, I mean, well, they might be gone before you have a chance to even try them if you keep, if your kids are Frozen fans at all. I know my daughter would. Well, I'd have no shot, and I don't know if she'd have a temper tantrum if she didn't get it, but she
You think
might.
she'd do
I don't
what
know.
snowmen do in summer?
What's that? Oh, melt. Dad joke number one of the show. All right, moving right along.
That's the first one. Just went right by.
Let's talk to Devin Brent, who's the founder and owner of Healthy Roots Cold Pressed Juice. Devin, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Pretty darn good.
Awesome.
Healthy Roots Cold Pressed Juice. I've heard of a lot of different cold pressed juice brands on the market. I'm not too familiar with Healthy Roots. Can you tell us a little about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a very new brand. So we started in 2016. We were 100% premium lineup, so certified organic across the way. Had a little bit higher retail price and kind of what we were looking for in terms of really trying to scale the brand. So towards the middle quarter of our second quarter of last year, we ended up actually launching our brand new Healthy Roots daily lineup, which was 100% plant-based, non-GMO, 5 brand new flavors. Every single bottle of juice is pressed with over 2 pounds of raw produce. We never add any water, sugar, preservatives, fillers of any kind. So really wanted to try to bridge that gap between consumers that were trying to figure out how do we go to our favorite local juice bars. Obviously today that's a little bit different now with COVID kind of hitting everything and changing up that marketplace. To also having the other end of the consumer who people that they're very strict. They go out, they buy all their own produce, they do all their own juicing on site. So we really wanted to make the cold pressed juice category more of a commodity and not a luxury. So we really kind of brought down that overall price point per bottle. And then was also able to bring in flavor profiles that were a very fantastic kind of entry-level flavor, if you will. So maybe consumers that have never tried a cold pressed juice, they're not very familiar with what even a cold pressed product is, and also being able to showcase, how incredibly delicious a green juice can be. If you're finding out ways to incorporate some sweetness with some pineapple, while also making sure you're getting in plenty of those nutrient-dense leafy greens as well too.
So you mentioned price points. What is the price point for a 12-ounce bottle, and what's the price point for a 2-ounce shot?
Yep. So 12-ounce bottle retails MSRP is $4.99, and the new 2-ounce wellness shots that we are launching have an MSRP of $3.99. We do have a pack size as well too for the big bulk retailers. We did just launch into Costco, so we have a little bit different price point for kind of those market price or those retailers as well.
Tell us a little bit more about the wellness shots.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are super excited about our brand new functional wellness shots. They feature really awesome superfood flavor profiles, things like wheatgrass, turmeric, ginger. We have 3 different unique shots. The one we're most excited about is actually going to be our Recover. It's a very potent antioxidant blend of something called aronia berry. Not many people are super familiar with Aronia berry yet. Most consumers have had things like tart cherry juice, and obviously very familiar with things like elderberry. But Aronia berry is actually the strongest natural antioxidant on the face of the earth. It measures at about 16,500 ORAC, which is the antioxidant level, while elderberry is about 14,000. So very excited about that shot. We also have a wheatgrass, celery, cucumber, and lime shot. Celery has been a big trending product line for 2020. And then we also have our Ultra Defense, which is a great immune boosting shot right now, especially at a time like this. A very potent blend of ginger, turmeric, orange, lemon, and then some black pepper extract to help with that turmeric and curcumin absorption as well too.
So are you leaning in as a functional beverage first and then and taste second, or are you leading with the taste? Because we haven't seen the packaging.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we sent in some graphics. They should have hopefully come into you guys. But yeah, we ended up updating and we did a nice brand refresh. So we actually audited the entire cold press category, looked at all of the packaging from kind of the top 10 brands as far as Nielsen data is concerned. We saw a lot of kind of consistencies as far as the juice marketplace. A lot of white labels, kind of like that clip art looking fruit. So we really wanted to kind of be a market breaker for that branding aspect. So we have a really nice premium looking black label. Allows for kind of that simplistic modern look while also still being really nice, bright, and vibrant with some of those nice accent colors as well too. Then.
And are you using fruit on your packaging?
So just a subtle bit on the 6-packs we have for Costco that are launching soon. We do have some really nice vibrant colors with a deep clean. So we've got some pineapple, there's some cucumber, some lime, spinach, and kale on there. Really nice color differentiator while still having some of that nice premium black label look, if you will, which is kind of what we were going for with more of a premium cold press line. And
one more question. You're not the first company the first beverage company to come along and say, we've got the Aronia berry. The Aronia berry has been around for a while. We've seen it come in cycles, and great berry, high in antioxidants, as you said, still going to require an awful lot of education. So you have that, and then you also are launching a juice brand during the war on sugar. So how are you going to overcome those two challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest thing for us is really ensuring that the consumers are understanding the differentiator between things like processed modified white sugars and sugars that are naturally occurring from fruits and veggies that are also paired with things like phytonutrients, antioxidants, electrolytes. Processed sugar is very different when it's coming from just a candy bar. So really that was a big thing for us. And that was an exciting part of being able to introduce that 2-ounce functional lineup. With the shots is that the highest sugar content in that is 2 grams. But actually ended up, so the foundation of the company stemmed from my struggle with a really severe autoimmune condition called Crohn's. I actually almost passed away a few times from it, ended up having a total colectomy in 2016, and ended up seeing a functional practitioner who really stressed the importance of cold pressed juices and making sure you're able to incorporate those daily. But that was my biggest concern right away too, was, that sugar total, but being able to understand that key differentiator between natural healthy sugars from fruits and veggies versus processed modified sugars from things like starches, processed foods, alcohol, candy, things like that. Then
amazing story, Devin, and it sounds like you've got a great brand. I could definitely use a few of those wellness shots right now, so hopefully I'll get to try some in the near future. In the meantime, thanks so much for joining us on the live stream, and let's catch up again soon.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Thank you so much for your time, guys, and really appreciate the opportunity. And be well, guys. Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Mike, have you tried to buy any wellness shots or those juice shots in grocery stores or online of late? They were pretty hard to find.
They're hard to find. Fortunately, a couple of companies sent us some right before the crisis started. So I had a few Vive shots and some Suja immunity shots as well, which were greatly appreciated.
So that's where they are. They're all in my fridge at home because I couldn't find any at the office. All right.
I wanted them to go bad, Ray, so I grabbed them on the way out the door.
That's fine. That's a good excuse. All right. Moving on. We have Billy Bosch, who is the CEO of Iconic. Billy, how are you?
Great, man. Just over here in sunny Santa Monica. I've got my my Karuna mask on because I just went to the store, and I've got my blue light glasses on because I stare at Zoom meetings all day. So I'm Karuna ready.
You know what? I never thought about getting those blue light glasses. I should get a pair of those. That's a really good idea.
It makes a difference, surprisingly. I mean, maybe it's a placebo, but I feel like I don't have a headache at the end of the day when normally if you stare at a screen all day, you do.
Gotcha. Iconic, I know the brand for its protein beverages. Can you tell us and tell our viewers a bit about what Iconic does, what it is, for those who are not familiar with it?
Yeah, certainly. So at Iconic, we're all about taking, nutrition and making it tasty and convenient. So that starts with a line of protein drinks, Iconic Protein, that we have now in flavors like chocolate, truffle, vanilla bean, cafe latte with real coffee. And we're expanding into some different lines over the next year here. And for us, it's the pain point that most convenient consumers face is really around not finding something that's tasty and convenient. While there's other protein drinks, a lot of them are chalky and gritty and don't taste very good, or they're loaded with sugar. And for us, we're always all about, little to no sugar in our products as well.
And you've got some new products to discuss as well. Tell us about the kids line.
Yeah, so the kids line is really exciting. We've got a lot of our consumers are parents, and the parents tell us they go to war at dinner. The kids are saying, I'm not eating my vegetables. You're not going to make me. Parents say, you're sitting, your butt at the table until you finish. And they say, I'll sit here all night. And it's just like, it's this every night, right? And inevitably the kid wins, and it's chicken tenders and French fries every night because they don't want to eat broccoli or Brussels sprouts or, broccolini or whatever it may be. So we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we solved a few of parents' concerns? One, how can I get my kid more vegetables? And then two, how can I mitigate the sugar that they're facing every day? Like they're getting pummeled with sugary products and the kids want sugary products. And then three, like they need more protein for growth. So if we can package those three things, the zero sugar, a daily serving of organic daily vegetables plus some protein to help with healthy growth and one drink, and it actually tastes really yummy. Wouldn't that be cool? And that's where this whole idea started. And that's the premise of Iconic Kids that comes in 3 flavors.
What's the size of the package? And what's the format?
Tetra. Yeah.
It's in a
8-ounce Tetra Pak with a screw cap.
Gotcha. And you also have some new collagen coffee. Is that right?
Yeah, we do. So the kids line will launch first. We're running production on that next month, actually later this month, and it's launching next month. And that's exciting because the kids are just stuck at home for the next few months. And so what were you going to ask?
No, I was just squinting when you said next few months.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be crazy, but we've actually had store buyers, like our Wegmans buyer said, please, how soon can you get me this? Like I need shelf-stable kids nutrition products that are stuck at home for the next few months. So that's great timing. The coffee, the collagen coffee we've come up with, the idea is, okay, coffee's a big winner for us. How can we diversify outside of dairy, stay within the grass-fed umbrella, but also create a product that people want, from Iconic, which is tasty and convenient. And what we hear from customers is they're doing this at-home blending every morning. If they take their collagen and their coffee and their MCT oil and maybe some adaptogens and their sweetener and all this stuff that they blend together, and it's time-consuming and it's a pain. So why don't we package that in a can? And we partnered with our friends at Four Sigmatic to pull in some of their adaptogen ingredients and then some grass-fed collagen and some MCT oil, so it hits, checks the keto box. And of course, it delivers a really yummy taste, and that'll be in an 11-ounce slim can.
Billy, I've got to ask. You're one of the best entrepreneurs that we know, and you've certainly been on Taste Radio before, and we're grateful for your presence in the community. Why a kids product, and why a kids product now? I mean, it's one of those things where you're making all these great products. Why not just make a product that's great that everyone can enjoy versus something that's going to have very high churn? Kids don't stay kids forever, and they don't become parents right after they cease to be kids. So there's like a gap in there before they can become advocates for your product. It's a really tough market. So explain that one to me.
Yeah, certainly. I thought the same thing. I mean, look, I don't have kids. Iconic is my kids. I'm not necessarily scratching my direct itch, but I've got a 4-year-old niece turning 5 actually next month. She's very concerned that she won't be able to go to the trampoline park for her birthday on May 5th. But we're fingers crossed we can do something. And she's a really picky eater, just like I was. And she eats, you know, a few things like potatoes, some chicken, and she's real sensitive to consistencies. And I put this in front of her. I kind of made it as an at-home concoction first and said, hey, try this. And she loved it. Oh yeah, Uncle B, this is great. And I tried it with some other kids and more family members and other kids. And this is a common pain point, Mike. Like parents were coming to me and saying, like, please create a kids drink, because they're giving their kids iconic. So to your point, why don't we just say, oh, you can give your iconic to your kids too? But kids need something different. They like a little bit sweeter, and they definitely need more nutrients like vegetables that they're not getting on a daily basis. And if you have kids that eat vegetables, fantastic, but a lot of people don't. And so we feel as though this is a really big opportunity, even though there is churn there. And for me, like, 2020 is all about, like, let's put it out there and see what happens. I don't know if this will be a success, but my hunch is that it will be. And that's why we're going to put it out there and see what happens.
Yeah. It's not like you're the only one who's doing it right now either. So you've got some frenemies in the space that are kind of, helping to educate parents about, plant-based and better for you products like that, like the ones that you're making. So I could see it. I just, from a business model perspective, are you going to attack this the same way that you would attack any of your other, product platforms, or do you see marketing to kids as a different challenge?
Billy, you've got 30 seconds to answer if you can.
I'll wrap it up. Yeah. So it's not, yes, it's a different challenge, but we're marketing to the same people because a lot of our consumers are parents. So it's getting this in front of them and saying, now this is for your kid. Add this to the cart. I know you want the kids to, you need to pacify them for the next 5 or 6 months. Here you go. Here's your.
So you can double down on the audience that you have. That's great.
Exactly.
Right on. Billy, great seeing you. Congrats on the new product lines, and can't wait to see the new kids line in a grocery store near me soon.
Hey, thanks guys. We'll send you samples as soon as it's ready.
Thank you so much. All right. That was Billy Bosch, the founder and CEO of Iconic. Once again, if you're just tuning in, you're watching BevNet's Elevator Talk live stream, where we're chatting with entrepreneurs from across the country about their innovative brands and new products, as well as some news regarding distribution.
Why is Ray able to make working from home look so cool and we're not, Ray? I don't get it.
I don't know. You got all kinds of things going on. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
Up next is Dani Bana, who's the co-founder and brother number 2 of Z&Z. Dani, how are you?
Very good. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having us.
Good to see you again. You and I FaceTimed about a week or so ago, part of our call from Taste Radio for us to chat with entrepreneurs about anything. And you introduced me to Z&Z, which I love. Let's introduce our viewers to your brand as well.
Thank you. Yeah. So Z&Z is an Arab American brand. We're really focused on making za'atar a household staple. Za'atar is this beautiful, savory but tangy blend of herbs. It's everywhere in the Middle East. So we're doing really well with that in Whole Foods in the Mid-Atlantic and online on Amazon. But what I'm most excited to talk to you about is the launch of our za'atar manouche, which is a Middle Eastern flatbread. We did a local launch recently. It had an amazing response. All of our partners sold out. We got messages of excitement from all over the country. And we were even picked up by a popular food blog in Lebanon. And so now we're looking at, the next logical step, partners that make the most sense. We believe that this product has a unique enough flavor profile and is culturally so important that it deserves to be called its own name. And we'll be launching frozen shipping, which you can find out more about that in our story at itsnotpizza.com.
You own itsnotpizza.com.
For now, yeah.
Why are you so adamant about educating consumers that it is not a pizza?
Yeah, I mean, I think we see so many consumers with an appetite for new flavors, but a lot of them lose their connection to the cultures they come from. So for us, we believe it's important enough and unique enough that it deserves a culture of its own, much like pizza does here. So a lot of people are quick to lump something into something identifiable like Middle Eastern pizza, but for us, it's important that it has its own name. And so that's going to be part of the exciting adventure that we're going to go on to make the manouche have a similar culture that pizza does here.
But secretly, don't you really hope people will be like, they'll try it because they think it's like a pizza, and then they'll fall in love with it, and you don't really care at the end of the day. It's kind of a PR stunt, right?
I'm not going to reveal the secret subconscious mind tricks we're doing.
I got to tell you, it's an interesting way to get people to try Za'atar, because when you just have the jar of your Za'atar product, that's one thing, and people have to find a recipe to make with that product. With the flatbread, it's ready to eat, or you stick it in the oven for 5 minutes. Why land on flatbreads? I mean, we've seen Za'atar entrepreneurs work with popcorn per se. Why did you land on that particular product?
Well, we, as a brand, like to stick to the real culinary staples and the simple products that are very well known. So we wanted to really do service to these products so that we can make them popular in the U.S. And this is something that's so important to us. I mean, in the Middle East, on every corner street bakery, you wake up to family members making it. We've been eating it all of our lives. We used to wake up on the weekends to the smell of it coming out of the oven. Our grandma would be baking. So it's a product that's near and dear to our hearts, and we think that it's naturally vegan. The flavor is just so amazing, unlike I think what a lot of people are used to. That we think there's a huge space in the market for it to really excel in the freezer aisle next to pizza, but not pizza.
I love this idea. I love the packaging. I love the simplicity of it as a purist, and I think that it's a beautifully made package. What do you think some of the challenges are going to be to get somebody to pick this up and take it home who doesn't know what a Middle Eastern flatbread is?
Sure.
Or Za'atar?
Yeah, of course. So both of those are obviously hurdles of educating the consumer. Fortunately, we've seen this great trend over the past couple of years, and a lot of the big publications have been doing a lot of the legwork for us. Bon Appetit has a love affair with Za'atar. They've been putting out recipes left and right, Washington Post, New York Times. So over the past few years, we've seen more and more people who already know it and are excited to try it. And that's going to be, continued part of our marketing strategy, is introducing the product and letting people know what it is, and making sure they want it before they get to the grocery store. And then if they see it at the grocery store, they're even more excited to try it.
How are you talking to folks about day part usage or day part occasions to eat a minutia product? I mean, I've eaten Za'atar bread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Are you looking for to specify when people should be eating this?
Yeah, I mean, we think traditionally it's a breakfast food, but obviously you can eat it any time of the day. We've seen great numbers with people eating lunch and dinner as well. But it's a product unlike a lot of stuff on the market. We keep it simple with 6 ingredients, so it's not loaded with preservatives, and it's like I said, naturally vegan. So that's an appeal, and a lot of people are now switching dairy free. So for a lot of people who kind of crave that pizza experience, but want either a new flavor, maybe they're tired of eating the same combinations. I think we have a great opportunity to market it to them that way.
Man, I want to put this right next to my shakshuka. I have to try this.
Oh, we gotta send some. I don't know if Ray's hoarding them all, but
I know where it is. I'm gonna go get it.
All right.
Yeah, you try to come get it, Mike. No, I've had your product. It is really fantastic. And as I agree with Mike, the packaging's great, and I think what you guys are doing is great. We got 10 seconds left, and I want to ask you, it's a family business. Your brother is your brother number 2. How's it like working with your family? What's it like working with your family?
Oh, it's wonderful at times, and it's a challenge at other times. But we wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. We've been kind of lifelong entrepreneurs together. Everyone participates in some way, and we love it.
Fantastic. Dani, it's been really fun chatting with you again, and good luck with everything going forward. Don't worry, I'll take care of Mike. He'll get some.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you very much.
That's what I was talking about. I'm not going to come and raid your stash. I know.
Oh, okay. Dani sent some to the office too. Okay,
yes,
fantastic.
I believe there's some there.
Outstanding. All right, let's keep on keeping on. We've got Dominica Bay, who is the founder and CEO of Vibe Life Hemp Kombucha. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Very good. How are you? I think there was an extra I in your first name. Did I pronounce it correctly?
You did. It was perfect. Thank you.
Okay, great. Vibe Life Hemp Kombucha. That all sounds amazing. I want some vibe, I want some life, I want some hemp kombucha. But I'm not too familiar with the brand. Tell us a bit about it.
Oh, great. Thanks so much. Well, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity. And Vibe Life is a plant-based lifestyle brand on a mission to heal humanity and the planet one sip at a time. And what started this beautiful journey was that over 10 years ago, kombucha got me sober, and CBD literally saved my life. So as a dedicated vegan keto for 31 years, I made it my mission to create the world's lowest sugar, lowest carb hemp kombucha. And we only have 10 calories per 12-ounce sleek. We have 6 delicious, nutritious flavors that are designed to open up your chakras, raise your vibe, and bring you love, wellness, and joy so you can find harmony, experience gratitude, and ultimate bliss. Our all natural smart sippers have no added sugar, no artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners. And we use only whole food, premium, organic, whole food ingredients. As a colon therapist and a holistic nutritionist, I'm obsessed with fermentation, which is why in every flavor, we have 4 to 5 ingredients that are individually fermented. And we're the first line of kombucha to use fermented hemp and fermented stevia, which gets rid of that awful aftertaste. And each of our flavors have a special fermented ingredient as well, such as holy basil, turmeric, lemongrass. We have milk thistle for your liver, peppermint, ashwagandha, and ginger. In each of our offerings, we have prebiotics, probiotics, enzymes, hemp, and electrolytes. And that's going to support your gut health while stimulating digestion, increasing your energy, your mood, improving immunity, easing anxiety, and boosting your metabolism. And what we really are on a mission to do is to provide healthier, safer alternatives to alcohol and sugar-ridden drinks for those that are looking to live a greener, cleaner, more authentic lifestyle. We're proudly vegan, organic, plant-based, non-GMO, gluten-free, grain-free, PPA-free cans, and of course, diabetic, paleo, and keto-friendly. And our beverages are complemented with a low-sugar, active lifestyle intended to raise your vibe, as everything is energy and everything is vibration. And on a last note, we're committed to fighting climate change with our organic supply chain, because all of our cans are 100% recyclable, which is super important to us. And proceeds of every can sold benefits the Hemp Heals Foundation, which is committed to reducing trauma and giving back to those in need who suffer from PTSD, anxiety, and depression.
That was fantastic, Dominica. Have you done this? Have you done this before? Have you given this pitch before?
Oh gosh, yeah, only a few times.
When was your brand launched and where are you sold?
Good question. So we started off up here in Canada 2 years ago, and my husband and I own fitness studios and do plant-based coaching. We're really involved in, trying to help the community live an active, fit lifestyle. So we initially launched our kombucha in our studio with the help of all of our Vibe Stars, and then launched out to independents. And we're really excited because we're going to be launching in the US on Amazon.com and selected retailers.
Dominica, you mentioned an ingredient that I don't typically see in kombucha, which was stevia, and I'm curious if you're using a traditional process for making kombucha or if it's something different.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So kombucha, as we all know, has been around for thousands of years, and we see it, all over the place now, thanks to our, amazing brands that created the company. Of course, GT Dave and Hum and all the wonderful offerings out there. We do use a traditional method because you actually need sugar to activate the yeast and create all those wonderful probiotics and enzymes. But what sets us apart is that we do a longer fermentation, so it burns off all the residual sugar. And then what we do is we use healing plant-based ingredients to, give it flavor and add to the function, so to speak. So the fermented stevia is there for taste. And because it's stevia and it's fermented, it gives you that extra gut health, but there's no added sugar, but it gives you that nice sweetness that kind of balances the bitterness.
Do you see it as a disadvantage to have a longer brewing process for your kombucha?
Well, I think good things take time. So for us, no, because we want to ensure that we give all of our Vibe Stars the best quality kombucha, but with the best possible nutrition, because we prove nutritious is delicious. So unfortunately, a lot of the kombuchas that are on the market, although they're really great for your gut health, they're too high in sugar for a lot of people like myself that follow a keto diet and people that follow paleo and someone like my brother that's a diabetic. So it's really important to me that what we put out there is safe for everybody. We're free of all the main allergens, and we want to be able to have everyone to be able to enjoy our kombucha, and most importantly, to enjoy a stackable experience.
And your pitch was a dissertation that would make the Kombucha Brewing Institute proud. What pieces of that do you lean into on the bottle to draw someone in?
And Dominica, I'm sorry to ask, but you've got about 30 seconds if you can keep it concise.
Oh, okay. I'll be as concise as I can. It's tough because there's a lot of elements, but I would say what sets us apart is the fact that we're 10 calories We're the world's first hemp kombucha using fermented hemp, and only 2 grams of sugar per 12-ounce sleek can. So we want to ensure that it's safe, healthy, and nutritious for everyone, and that we give you all the wonderful benefits that kombucha has to offer in hemp. And it's like peanut butter and jelly. You just can't go wrong.
Fantastic. Dominica, it was so great talking to you, and thank you so much for the introduction to Vibe Life Hemp Kombucha, or just Vibe Life, which I love as a brand name as well. Good luck with everything going forward. Can't wait to taste the product.
Thanks so much. We really appreciate support. Have a good day.
You too. I'm excited to try it. Mike, have you interacted with this brand yet? Have you tried it?
I haven't. I mean, obviously my eyebrow goes up when I hear 2 grams of sugar and that's a kombucha. And as a purist, you know, I love some of these products that are coming out that are kombucha-like, and I wish they would, you know, maybe call themselves something other than kombucha. But it sounds like she's using, you know, the pure method for brewing, and it's just a longer process. And I think it's great because, you know, kombucha, it's a market, people know it, they're starting to learn about it, and everything that's similar, you know, you want to say, hey, it's kombucha, but you know, that's kind of what I was going after when I was questioning her.
Gotcha. All right, let's
Can't wait
move on.
to try it, Ray. I guess time will tell.
Yeah,
the taste will tell.
All right, moving right along, we got Julia Kerouac, who's the founder and CEO of Nude Food. Julia, how are you? Do we have Julia? Are you muted, perhaps?
I am not now.
All right.
How are you guys?
We're doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Staying safe and staying inside. I'm so excited to see so many other Canadians on the call, and thank you for the opportunity.
We love our Canadians at BevNet. We need more Canadians as part of our content. We really do. Nude Food, love the name. What is it?
Yeah, so I'm a holistic nutritionist as well. And basically, I'm on a personal mission of improving the way people eat through functional nutrition. And we make some of the most clean and nutrient-dense snacks that are able to be eaten in a convenient manner, functional nutrition on the go, if you will. We have 4 product lines. We have our banana crisps, our savory sweet potato crackers, chocolate-covered bananas, and then our new ones that we're featuring are an expansion on our keto product line. They're keto crackers. We have them here, and super nutrient dense, like I said, based on seeds only. And we have an everything bagel and then a simple seed. And all of them have both of them have 1 gram of net carbs, and 12 to 15 grams of fiber and 15 grams of protein. So really nutrient dense, packing that punch in every bite.
Did you mention the chocolate covered bananas? Did I miss that?
I did, but we weren't showcasing those. I chose the keto ones today.
Gotcha.
But I'll send you some. I will send you some, I promise.
on my notes here, I saw chocolate covered bananas and I got all crazy because who doesn't love those?
I'm keeping those ones close to my chest because they're a much lower barrier of being able to copy them. And since we don't have funding, I can't hit the pavement quite as quickly in the United States, but I'd be happy to send you some for you and your kids to enjoy.
Thank you very much. As I mentioned, Nude Food, I really like the brand name. Are people getting it, or are they calling it Nud Fud?
Yeah, so we have a bit of both. I guess it depends on how clean eating the individual is. I see nude, especially with that little leaf above the U. That signifies a long vowel, but we definitely get people saying Nud Fud.
So it sounds like you're really targeting that natural retail consumer and really focusing on that channel, or do you see a broader opportunity for the brand?
Yeah, so I mean, like many of my fellow peers here, I think we obviously start generally in the natural channel, just because there's so much more acceptance and education in regards to healthy eating and why you would want to eat real food. But obviously, as we always see, those types of value props are transitioning into more of the mainstream market. So we are really excited to be able to take advantage of those channels like conventional and or mass club with these types of products. We're definitely looking forward to that.
Gotcha. Mike, keto everything crackers, keto simple seed crackers. I mean, these are like a little bit of a departure from your everyday cracker. What do you see as the opportunity for something like this and for the brand itself?
I mean, I see this as a great opportunity for, yet another great keto snack for the folks who like keto, as long as keto stays on trend. It should be okay. I guess my question here is, what are the typical use occasions that you're seeing for Nude food? And what are some of the less expected use occasions that you've seen from your audience?
Yeah, great question. So since, like I mentioned, we have 4 product lines. So I think kind of the use occasion can vary. So we want to definitely meet our consumer where they are and be able to be utilized throughout their day, regardless of, kind of what they're doing and where they are. So with these ones in particular that we're showcasing, obviously, we are targeting more of the keto lifestyle and dietary kind of way of eating at the moment, but it doesn't mean that we're just necessarily pigeonholed there because our focus is always on nutrient dense and real food. They're paleo as well, vegan and organic. So I think there's a lot of runway that we have with them. But to go back to your question in regards to use occasion, the whole point is just to be convenient, nutrition on the go. So that's kind of the problem that we're solving, specifically when you have so much restrictions as someone who's eating keto and you're really focused on high fat, moderate protein, and obviously low carb. There's not as many options just as you're out on your day. Obviously, everyone's home now, so it's a bit different. But when you're usually out working, and hustling and bustling around with our busy Western lifestyles, this is meant to be utilized mostly as a snack between meals, just to kind of carry you through. And the last thing I'll just add is, since keto is so based and focused on fat, what we really get a good feedback on is the texture variance. So obviously with mostly fatty foods, it can be very soft. So to have something that's really kind of dense and crunch provides a really nice deviation from that soft texture.
Great stuff. Julia, thank you so much for joining us on the live stream. I noticed you're raising a seed round of funding. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So investors who want to get in touch with you, they can see your information up there. But if you want to recite it for us right now.
Sure. Yeah. You can reach out to me, what's written there, or personally, Julia, Julia, at the same, at nudefood.com.
Julia, 10 seconds. What do you need from an investor?
So I already have one lined up, excuse me. So we're looking for a strategic. I'm really good with operations. We do our own production. That's kind of why we're not bigger, because we have a facility as well. So long story short, a strategic who can assist with sales and marketing, and obviously financing growth.
Fantastic. Julia, once again, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck with everything going forward. All right. All right, let's move on. We got Amy Keller, who's the CEO of PurePlus. Amy, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Welcome to Southern California.
I would love to be in Southern California right now. I'm in sunny Brookline, or somewhat sunny Brookline, which is a suburb of Boston. PurePlus. I think I've seen the brand, but can you familiarize me with it, please?
Absolutely. So I come from sugar. What does that mean? Well, my family owns a candy factory, Spangler Candy Factory, and we sell 2 billion dum-dums a year. So we know that food is the #1 reason there's poor health in the US, and 90% of people don't get their fruits and vegetables. So imagine a world where fruits and vegetables taste like candy.
Amy?
Amy, we lose Amy? Gone muted.
We've lost Amy for a moment, but she had me at 2 billion dum-dum.
2 billion dum-dums and fruit tasting like candy. I think that's where she was heading with that, Ray.
That is incredible. Are you a dum-dum eater?
Ray, are you asking if I'm a dum-dum?
Amy, we lost you for a minute there. Can you go back 30 seconds and tell? We had you at.
I think you were saying that fruit tastes like candy. Food tastes like candy.
That's the world we're imagining. And because I come from Willy Wonka world and I'm the disruptive granddaughter, I'm trying to make the modern Willy Wonka. So we're providing self-nutrition through Faves Candy. That's our first product. And so we're helping people get their fruits and vegetables through stealth nutrition. And at the same time, helping farmers to upcycle whole fruits and vegetables from being unharvested. So we have this transparent supply chain from seed to market, and we're patenting that process. So our base sees us as this triple threat, right? We're helping people, we're saving the planet, and we have high margins because we're working with upcycled products. So we really looked at the global market for candy and said, that's an $80 billion market. This market is ripe for alternatives to white sugar. So our key differentiator is that access we have into companies that are calling us already today for distribution. Disney, 7-Eleven, Pepsi, Dillon's Candy, Kroger, Safeway, they're all looking at how can we feed the planet and also look at the environmental, the climate change. And so we build a team of the greatest brand builders and influencers and consumer brands, along with a team of specialists from Just Water to This Bar Saves Lives to Plum Organics, those that have been in it before from a natural product standpoint. And I think those partnerships is what brings value to this alternative solution, to being a part of a product to deliver nutrition to the consumer, but also reduce climate impact. Really, this company was formed because Kevin Wall, Sue Smalley, and I said, food will be a defining issue of the 21st century. This is the potential catalyst for the achievement of the Paris Climate Change Treaty and for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So all of this has come together because of what we know around environmental issues.
Why candy wafers, and what are candy wafers actually?
Well, we're a combination of kind of the Necco, right? My family owns Necco, and I looked at the air dry system and I said, well, wait a minute. If we utilize the same processing, but a little different, because obviously the equipment from back then, we know that's a Civil War candy, it won't be able to deal with the flow agents that we use, like fruits and vegetables. But because it's air dry, we can keep the nutrition molecules intact, which means we can actually deliver fruits and vegetables whole servings through candy. Whereas if you utilized other candies, gummies or lollipops or other glossies or candy bars out there, all those fruits and vegetables would be used for is for flavor and color. And unfortunately, that's what the market's looking at right now.
Mike, we got about a minute left. Do you have any feedback or questions for Amy? Did we lose Mike?
Oh, I'm here. Okay. I guess my biggest question is, why are you calling it stealth nutrition?
Well, the name Faves. So my co-founder, Sue Smalley, came up with it, and I said, that's great. That's a wonderful hashtag. We trademarked it. We said Faves is, everybody knows that. It's your favorite thing, right? But actually, Faves means fruits and vegetables. And so our way of looking at this is a lot of kids and a lot of Americans, a lot of people around the world aren't getting their servings of fruits and vegetables. You're supposed to get 5 to 8 servings a day. 90% of Americans don't get that. And that's why food is the #1 cause of poor health. And so we look at this as, have your indulgence, still have your candy, but this allows you to have a little bit more on top of having that sweet indulgence.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like a pretty amazing product and great stuff. I can't wait to try Faves. I can't wait actually to see these wafers. I'm really interested to see one and try.
Well, I didn't have it in my background, but it comes in a 7-pack. And I'm more than happy to send them your way. We sell them direct to consumer on myfavesweets.com, and we'll be launching on Amazon this month. And then next month, we'll be looking to go out with Snack Nation, Thrive Market, Good Egg, and other e-com. And then you'll probably see us in alternative markets in the fall.
Very cool. Well, it sounds like you're off to an amazing start, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us on the live stream, and let's catch up again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. We're going to keep on keeping on. And we've got Angela Zeng, who is the creator and owner of Karuna Beverages. Angela, great to see you again.
Great to see you, always.
Thank you so much for your patience. I know Karuna, and if you've seen any of our new beverage showdowns, you might have caught the brand as well. For folks who aren't familiar, tell us about Karuna.
Sure. So Karuna is still relatively new. I started this brand just about 3 years ago. We are a Midwest beverage maker, and Karuna actually means compassion. And the whole philosophy is based on Far East herbal remedy wisdom combined by medical and nutritional research. Because of my background, I have, basically done many years of medical research. So I'm like many of my friends, colleagues here, full believer that diet has probably the biggest impact on our health. And the line really focused on prebiotic and antioxidants combined in juice and smoothies. And I really focus on low sugar and low glycemic index. You know, obviously coming from the medical field, diabetes is one of the leading underlying illness in this country, causing many other chronic, issues, health issues. I believe more than 10% of the Americans have this issue. And then you also have borderline and undiagnosed, consumers probably has blood sugar level issue, but they just not being diagnosed with diabetes yet. So that's what we've been focusing on is real juice product, very low natural sugar, and also very low glycemic index. So
right on.
Yeah.
You've got some distribution and retail news to share as well, right?
Exactly. So right now our main focus in Midwest, we're in the Whole Foods here. Many retails, for example, Schnucks, Fresh Time, and we are actually branching out. So next month we'll be in HEB in Texas. We also recently launched on Amazon, and I have to say it has been pretty successful. So, obviously consumer now these days are paying more attention to healthy diet to improve their wellness and health. And just, online delivery shopping just becomes a very convenient tool right now. And we are also adding more distribution centers with KeHE. We are already with UNFI, so hopefully we'll get into more, natural food stores.
Great. Mike, Karuna, I recall seeing the brand, as I mentioned, at in the New Beverage Showdown. I mean, do you think that the brand proposition is more relevant now than it had been a couple of years ago?
I mean, it certainly is a relevant brand proposition. I still worry about, the amount of education that needs to go into it. What are the ways that you're going about educating consumers on what's in the bottle?
Yeah, that's a great question, because one of the issue I have is, people always say, well, you have so many functionalities. Which one is more relevant to myself, right? To me. I think it really boils down what I focus now versus a few years ago. I mean, a couple of years ago is prebiotic fiber and then anti-natural antioxidants. For example, the new drinks we just launched is this avocado, very low carb, low glycemic index, but very high in natural fiber, and then natural protein from mung beans. Things like that, I think consumer can a little bit easy, understand just by looking at the bottle. And the other thing I really spend lots of time on is make the fruity flavor more relevant to average consumers instead of just for the health nuts. Another new line we are launching that in the Midwest Whole Foods is this sports recovery drink. So, seems like it's different from my juice and smoothie, but still, this is a juice drink, but extremely high in natural vitamin C, and so contains natural collagens from salmon, and also natural electrolytes from black sesame seeds. So it's all natural whole food products, but it is, very easy for consumer to understand. Like this flavor, my kids love them. It's a lemonade, but instead of the traditional lemonade, very high in sugar, this one only has 8 grams for the whole bottle, and a very high vitamin C content, so that's 45% of your daily needs. Plus, natural collagen, so it's anti-nature collagen that serves as, a recovery, a very nice, healthy recovery drink, hydration drink. So I'll say basically I just try to clean out the message a little bit instead of I was more focusing on the natural ingredient like arachidonic berry combined with mung bean sprouts, which actually this is a top seller here in St. Louis. People really find it, helping their allergy, cold and flu. So, before this pandemic, this product was already selling a lot, not necessarily due to, people understand what exactly is mung bean sprouts and arugula berry, but they love the high antioxidant level and also great amount of fiber and vitamin C.
Yeah, that'd be my advice if I was, and we've spoken before, and I'll say it again. It's just honing in on what that functionality is and making sure that the flavor, is something that someone can recognize, and more people are going to pick it up. I think what you said before about, health nuts being interested in health nuts being interested in, and there's a definite mystique on the label. And I think that's a thing that probably draws people in.
Angela, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I'd love to see how the brand has evolved, and great work on the new products.
Thank you.
All right. That was Angela Zeng, who's the creator and owner of Karuna Beverages. Great stuff.
Angela Zeng. We'll work on that for next time.
I apologize. All right. Last but certainly not least is Paul Evers, who's the co-founder of Riff Cold Brewed. Paul, how are you? Do we have Paul? Is he muted? He might be.
I'm doing great.
Oh, great. Great to hear from you. Great to see you.
Thank you. I was able to get out of the house for this. I'm in our tap room, which these days is one of the quietest environments I can have access to. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for making the effort. Bend, Oregon is where you guys are based. Riff Cold Brewed, again, is the name of the brand. Tell us about your products, and you have a couple of really interesting product lines.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here. Riff is a cold brewed coffee company out of Bend, Oregon, and we're a team of veterans from coffee, craft beverage, tech, pro sports, and CPG. And our primary mission really is to celebrate and discover and explore 100% of the coffee plant's agricultural value. So cold brewed coffee is our primary line. But when we're exploring, innovation is one of our cornerstones. So we were exploring cascara, or coffee fruit, which is a traditionally wasted byproduct of the coffee harvest. And when we started learning more and more about the magnitude of waste and the impact on the environment, we just asked ourselves, what can we do to create something that has as great of appeal as, that has promise of mass appeal, so we can maximize our impact. So that's where we came up with Alter Ego. And Alter Ego is cold brewed from upcycled coffee fruit into a refreshing natural energy drink. It tastes nothing like coffee. It's wonderful for an afternoon pick-me-up. I've been drinking a lot of this while waiting in the green room, by the way. And it's fantastic.
As well you should. I mean, it's a fantastic beverage. As you mentioned, cascara is something that seems to have a lot of promise and opportunity. How do you communicate cascara and its benefits to consumers?
Well, consumers, of course, are in the driver's seat from our perspective. So we've been conducting a lot of research, and we have more of an iterative process. I think the generation that you see here is probably generation 5 or 6 on Alter Ego. It was actually the first few batches were brewed on our pilot brewing system right behind me right here. So we're continually looking to gain consumer insight. Consumer education is our number one barrier that we see it. So we're iterating and refining as we go. We've been, using, wrapped sleeves cans, so we can, brew small batches and improve as we're going. So we have a new version of packaging coming out here in the next couple of months. And
you've introduced some line extensions that help people to understand what your beverages are all about by flavors that they're familiar with.
Yeah, thank you. So the original, people don't know necessarily, 95% of the people don't know what coffee fruit is or what cascara is. And for most, it has a pretty unusual, it's a very unique, wonderful flavor profile, but it's foreign, or it's not very familiar for most consumers. So we strategically selected fruits that were a little bit exotic, but yet a little bit familiar, to make the product more approachable, more appealing, and to reduce the perceived risk when looking at it on shelf to ensue trial.
Paul, as you know, I really like your brand. And as you said, 99% of people don't know what coffee fruit is. And if you ask 99% of people if they've had coffee fruit before, they would lie to you and say they haven't, because they've had Bai, and that has coffee fruit. So they don't even know. We've seen a little bit of I wouldn't call it an explosion. We've seen more brands popping up with using the natural or better for you energy vibe. The Tea Riots of the world have leaned into it. The matcha bar has fully gone into change the branding to hustle. Have you considered that? I see natural energy on the top of the can there, and I really feel like that's one of the things that could pull a consumer in. Aside from, I mean, look, the logo's gorgeous. I love Alter Ego for the kitsch, but I don't love it from the perspective of, is that going to draw somebody in who doesn't know Riff already?
You know, I had a feeling you would be asking me.
It's not like I haven't asked you this before.
We've had a lot of conversations, and that
you're like, is Mike going to be on the show? Do I want?
No, your insight is great. It's valued, and it's actually, you'll be pleased. It's having influence.
Paul, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Consideration of packaging, but our target consumer is really those that are seeking clean label, good for you, natural energy. Not just good for you, but good for the planet, because we have an incredible sustainability story.
And I think that's in the can, and it tastes great. And I think that if you can get somebody who is, in the market for that kind of product, they'll try this, which is, and I'd love to see this on shelf next to some of the others in the category that some either have already tried or would potentially try. And, I just think that's where you fit on shelf right now.
That's where we want to fit on shelf. I mean, one of the platforms that we've been really, really successful at is Amazon. We launched in Amazon about 6 weeks ago. As of today, we're sold out of 4 of the different packaged offerings there. And what's great about Amazon is it provides a great platform for consumer education. So that's a great place for trial. And we're working on separate initiatives for point of sale and consumer marketing as well. I'm
curious. I know that your consumer is going to say that it tastes great. What do they say beyond that about the energy that it gives you, and about, is it a jittery energy or a no crash energy? What are they saying?
Paul, you got about 30 seconds. I'm sorry.
Well, I can beat that. You ate up about 10 seconds of my time, but
more.
It is very smooth, non-jittery, wonderful caffeine. It's very different than coffee in that way.
That's what consumers are saying.
It's 100 milligrams of caffeine, so that's equivalent to a cup of coffee. So it's a nice level of caffeine.
Outstanding. Paul, it's always great seeing you and talking to you. I think you're one of the great guys in our industry, and I love what you're doing with Riff and with Alter Ego. Good luck with everything going forward, and please stay in touch. We got to have that virtual beer soon.
Thanks, Paul.
And thank you, Jessica and Josh. You guys do an amazing job on this show. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. Yes, thank you.
We love you. We love you.
All right. Thanks again, Paul. Paul hit the nail on the head. Our AV team and our marketing team has been fantastic. This is our 6th episode of Elevator Talk Livestream, and they've all been fantastic and really engaging, fun, and it couldn't happen without Jackie Brugliera, Jessica Fagan, Josh Pratt, Joe Krejci, Ryan Galang, Nate Brescia, of course, Mike Schneider, and the rest of the marketing team. This has been really fun, Mike.
Don't forget Ray Latif.
There we go. Mike, this has been fun as always. Let's do this again. Maybe next week. If you're interested in doing this next week, if you're interested in watching this next week, stay tuned. We're going to have some information about day and time coming at you in the coming days. Until then, signing off for our fabulous team at BevNet and Osh and Taste Radio. Signing off for Mike Schneider. I'm Ray Latif. We'll see you next time.